Alrighty, folks, it's DJ AV here on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, but it's not that rainy because it's a very exciting day for us. We have with us today the Struts, more specifically Luke from the Struts. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, stopping here on your way up to Boston. You guys are performing at the Royale tonight. Tickets still on sale for that one, I know. And just played a few songs for us. Very excited because you have been traveling around. We were talking about it just now. Traveling around quite a bit around North America over the past few weeks. Where have you been in like the last week and a half or so?
We did a couple of great festivals. We did Lollapalooza. We also went up to Canada to do a festival. We were in... God, where were we last night? Portland, Maine. We were in Portland, Maine last night. As you can tell, I'm the guy who kind of just wakes up and, I literally do have the town's name written on a bit of paper on the bottom of my set list every night.
Have you ever? Oh gosh, I can only imagine as a musician. Have you ever accidentally said the wrong place?
Oh yeah, too many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever has the audience ever rebelled against you when you've done that?
Yeah. The hardest thing is sometimes when you play these places, you automatically sometimes just go with the name of the state.
Sure.
Just because, I don't know. I'm not from here.
Of course.
And some places, like especially the sort of like the very proud cities and areas, don't really like you doing that, depending where you are. So
I will give you a fair warning. Boston is very much like that. So
yeah.
They are very much proudful of their place.
So tonight, if I refer to them as Boston, is that fine?
Oh, that's fine. As long as you don't call them Beantown, you're fine.
Okay.
Because that's like one of their nicknames that nobody actually calls them.
Right,
so you should be fine.
Like what you'd say about the kid in class, like behind his back, but no one actually mentions it.
Yeah, so like backstage, if you want to call the audience at the Royale Beantown,
okay,
go for it. Just make sure you don't say that on air.
You know me though, you shouldn't have told me that because I am probably going to say it to them.
now you can be cheeky about it when you're on stage. Now you can call them Beantown and see what happens.
Exactly.
Okay, so you were also at Lollapalooza. We DJ Kat talked to you a few days ago at Lollapalooza 25th anniversary. What was it like playing pretty much one of the biggest festivals in the United States? Yeah,
I mean, as a band being from the UK, we've all heard about this festival. Mm-hmm. The way I've always sort of viewed it was it's quite a very prestigious festival. It's very cool. The lineups are always very credible. So we were really surprised, from two things. One, that we, were on the main stage to begin with, which was truly an honor.
Same stage as Radiohead.
Exactly. Yeah. And second of all, we played it 2:15 in the afternoon. Now, if you're a group who does sort of what you call the lunchtime slots, you really have no idea, what your capacity is going to be in terms of who's going to turn up and see you. It could be hardly anyone. But we were so surprised. There was a sea of people there. I dare say it was about maybe 15,000, 20,000 watching us. But we weren't expecting that. And it was great, a lot of people from our label came down, and it was, we saw our management and stuff like that, and it was a real kind of occasion. And the best thing of all is that I had a brand new outfit delivered to me the day before, especially for the festival.
So. I saw the photos and videos. Well, a lot of the publications were calling it one of the best sets of the entire weekend. And I have to ask though, because I saw the photos of what you were wearing. I mean, you're always dressed very well, I must say.
Thank you very much.
Oh, two things there. One, where do you get it from? And two, when you're playing places like Lollapalooza, which admittedly probably very hot, I'm assuming, what is it like to be in all the garb?
So firstly, I, go around a lot of thrift shops, and sort of vintage places, normally just for the sort of accessories, and I like to wear a lot of sequin. And then over that, I normally have pieces custom made. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of specified for exactly what I want and what kind of occasion it is. And in terms of what it's like to play in the extreme heat, it can be very, very uncomfortable. I wear practically on my the trousers or pants as you call them are pretty much a really shiny black lycra.
Yeah.
or PVC. It looks like PVC, but it's a lot more stronger. And there are times when, again, because we're doing these kind of like lunchtime slots, you'll come out on stage and the sun will literally be directly on you.
And that's not even accounting for the lights either.
Oh, no. So you have this huge lighting rig which is shining down on you. I don't know why. It's like, 2:00 in the afternoon, the sun's out. And then you're also getting like melted on the stage by, the sunlight, and it can be really, really bad. There's been a few times where I thought I was actually going to like be sick. I normally kind of work my way back.
Sure.
So sometimes you'll actually see me behind the drum kit in the shade, just trying to get a little bit of
out.
Yeah.
Or if you have a sun hat or something.
Well, I've got a vampire complexion which I need to keep up. You know what I mean?
It's a very rock star like complexion, so you can't lose the brand.
I can't.
It's the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And when you're playing places like Lollapalooza, I mean, like Radiohead is playing the same stage, later in the day and whatnot. Do you run into any of these big people and have like any of those moments of like, oh my gosh, like I'm surrounded by a lot of big people?
It's always a mix. You never really know what's going to happen. I mean, we were hanging out with Nothing But Thieves yesterday.
Yep.
Really nice guys. We've done a couple of festivals with them, but we got to sort of chat to them properly for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've come out of the toilet and Matt Healy's been in his pajamas, like waiting for the toilet. But I didn't say hello to him.
Just make eye contact.
He was sort of one of those moments where you're not going to go, hi, I really like your music. It was like
clearly not in that
after
place.
you. But we've met some fantastic people.
Sure.
Me and Adam got to play with Taylor Hawkins, who
Yeah.
has a sort of like what's it called, like a covers band.
Yeah.
And it features sort of like Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers on drums, and he gets all of his friends, like his music buddies, together, including like obviously Dave Grohl and stuff. And
just casual.
Yeah. And they all get up and jam covers, and it was really cool. And they asked me and Adam if we would do a couple of Queen numbers with them, and I ended up going back on stage to do Under Pressure with him. Taylor Hawkins was singing the Bowie part, and I was doing Freddie's bit, and like we had Chad Smith on drums.
Yeah. And you can't say no to that.
No.
Absolutely.
But I was that close from leaving. I literally had a pint in my hand, and I was like, we're ready to go. And then I had to run through the crowd and jump up on stage. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So also we do a thing here at WBRU where it's called 5 and 95. It's 5 sort of wacky questions that we ask a lot of bands that come in. Because they're a little off the beaten track, nobody really asks these questions. So
I like these ones.
Do you? Okay,
yeah.
Good. Well, you gotta think quick too.
Okay, quick-fire questions.
Alrighty. So number 1, what show or television show more specifically are you binge watching right now, if any at all, or the last one?
The last one, I mean, Game of Thrones.
Yep.
I really enjoyed. But Eastbound and Down is actually one of my favorite TV shows ever.
Yes. Is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Big fan. Second one. Okay, so everybody always talks about wanting to make the right mood when they're getting intimate. How about killing the mood? If you had to pick any song to kill the mood with, what would it be?
Probably one of my dad's songs. Sorry, Dad, if you see this, but yeah, my dad records a lot of music, or he did do back in the day, and it's sort of like Christian gospel country. So if I was in the nude with a female, and my dad's voice was sort of like bellowing throughout the room, for me anyway, that would kill the mood.
Maybe not for her, but for you, it's that's your dad.
Yeah, I mean, one of the weird thing is I've heard sort of like Adam eloping with a woman, and his iPod's obviously been on shuffle, and one of the Struts songs comes on, so my voice, and I'm sort of somewhat there. I'm present while he's making love, which was quite interesting.
You're a part of the experience.
Exactly.
Well, that then brings me to wonder, like, has the Struts come on while you've been doing it before?
There was a time when
I don't know if that's too invasive to ask.
No, it's perfect. There was a time when all I would have sex to is the Struts music. So
how would that go over?
Oh, the girls would love it.
You know who else apparently does that?
Who?
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I can imagine who does that.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like sued for libel or anything. So third question. This is one of my favorites. So if you had to spend a day with one of these two people, who would it be? Jack Black or Jack White?
Oh, Jack White
Yeah.
straight away.
Of course.
He's brilliant. I think he, in terms of like our generation, he's one of the last original rock and roll riff makers
Absolutely.
in music. So I'd love to hang out with him. He lives in Tennessee somewhere, I believe.
Yep.
So, and I like that state. It's cool.
Do you? Okay. I feel like Jack White, especially if you are in rock and roll, it's kind of not that hard to pick Jack White for that one. Fourth question. If you could add any historical figure to the band, who would it be and why?
Historical
And
figure.
what would they play?
Okay. We would need. I mean, what I'm thinking is, okay, we would need. I would love to have a bit of brass, so maybe like raise Bobby Keys back from the dead,
Ooh.
and sort of persuade him to leave the Stones and come play for us.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be too hard,
Yeah,
you know.
you just have to cajole him.
A couple of $1 million.
$2 million, a few drinks.
And we'd need a pianist. So I would like to have, I don't know, for the lols, I'd ask Rick Wakeman to come play,
just for the lulz.
come play piano for us.
That would work out. And the final question, and I'm sure you guys on the road have probably partied a little bit, but what is your number one hangover cure?
It's normally if you have a cigarette the day of the hangover, the first cigarette of the day, that literally takes you to the lowest point you can go,
Sure.
because it just makes you feel 10 times more sick. So from then on, as soon as that passes, you're going to feel better. So that's what I always do.
So the logic is like you can only go up from there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it only gets better.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like that. It's like the night is darkest before the
yeah,
dawn.
just
like,
get it over and done with. Like, wake up, have that cigarette, feel really disgusting, and then
get on with it.
then go sort your life out.
You heard it here first. That's how you sort your life out with Luke. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
Very
you.
much appreciate it. Thank you for playing a few songs. We look forward to tonight. You're going to be at the Royale up in Boston. Tickets still on sale for that one. And Everybody Wants out now in the U.S. Thank you so much.
Thank you.